Hey guys, what's up? It's King Power 44 here, and we have a brand new Overwatch PTR update. Orisa's getting nerfed, and Junkrat is getting buffed, and many more, so let's jump in. Orisa's nerf is on her fusion driver, which is her main weapon. The magazine size is going to be 150, which is down from 200, and her ultimate cost is going to be increased by 15%. Now, we knew this was going to happen because she just felt a little too powerful on the PTR after playing her. Her fusion driver definitely had way too much ammo. You were able to just shoot basically forever, and her reload time was very low, and her ultimate was up pretty quickly since you were able to spam so much with her weapon and just hit shots to charge her ultimate. She does a good amount of damage, so I compare her damage to someone like Roadhog in the tank category. I do think that a little bit more needs to be changed for Orisa. Her Graviton's charge cooldown is kind of short at 8 seconds for such a powerful ability, but we'll see what Blizzard has in store for her next. Now on to the next person. Ana is receiving a pretty significant nerf. So her biotic rifle damage is being reduced from 80 to 60, her biotic grenades impact damage is being reduced from 60 to 30, and the impact healing from the grenade has been reduced from 100 to 50. Now this is a nerf that I don't agree with necessarily, because I felt Ana was pretty balanced from where she was. She didn't do too much damage or healing with her grenade anymore, and her regular healing and damage was perfectly fine from her rifle, but I guess Blizzard thought that they needed to nerf her even more. Now the biotic grenade is something that I think needs to be looked at, because aside from Symmetra, Ana is the only other support that doesn't heal over time. Lucio has his own heal, Mercy heals over time, and Zenyatta has his shields that regenerate, so her grenade was the only way Ana could heal herself. This new nerf is going to make it really hard for Ana to self-sustain herself. She's going to have to either rely on the other healer or go around and pick up health packs while healing. This might take Ana away from the meta, as we've seen some buffs to a lot of her counterparts in the support section. Only time can tell, and we'll see when this patch goes live whether or not it will be as big as an impact as I think it's going to be. Moving on, next we have a buff for Junkrat. I don't think Junkrat has ever been buffed aside for the speed on his ultimate, but he no longer hurts himself with his own explosions, which is great for Junkrat mains. That means that he can be stuck in a corner and throw his bombs and not worry about killing himself. Literally, that is the only buff for Junkrat, but I do think that it will make him a better character in the long run. The next hero we are talking about is Winston. His barrier starts its cooldown as soon as it's placed now. This is going to make this ability used a lot more often, saying that its cooldown is technically being reduced now that you don't have to wait for the barrier to disappear before the cooldown starts again. It's going to give Winston mains a little bit more protection for himself and their team. That barrier is super important, and it changes team fights, believe it or not. Moving on to the next hero, Sombra is getting some buffs of her own. So the radius of her sound effect and voiceover when entering stealth has been decreased to 15 meters. So you're not going to hear her go into stealth from across the map. I believe it was 60 meters before, I'm not sure. But that's going to give Sombra a bigger advantage on enemies that are further away from her, because she can run them down while stealth without them knowing. Next, her translocator ability cooldown is being reduced from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. So this is going to give Sombra the ability to move around a lot more on the map and teleport from location to location. Again, being a good Sombra is making sure you're not in the same spot for too long. You're supposed to be moving all around the map, annoying the enemy team, taking down their supports in the back line, hacking their tanks. It's all about movement with Sombra, so she's getting a nice buff there. Next, we have my favorite hero, Zenyatta, who's receiving a buff of his own. His Orb of Destruction's alternate fire, so that's his charge attack, its recovery is being reduced from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. So if you do play Zenyatta, you notice that if you do use his charge attack, it takes him a while before he brings his hands back in and he can fire off his regular attack. So that's going to be a nice little buff for him. And something very big here is that his Orb of Discord can now target enemies through barriers. So that means Reinhardt can be targeted while he has his shield up. Zarya can be targeted while she has her shield up. Something really interesting is when Zarya puts her shield on, it usually removes the Orb of Discord, but will it do it now? This is actually really big for Zenyatta, especially with the increase of barriers when it comes to Orisa, Reinhardt, Zarya, and now Winston's barriers cooldown is going to be a little bit shorter. He's going to be able to help his team even through those barriers, so that's really, really cool. So that is the newest Overwatch PTR update. Again, Orisa's being nerfed, Ana's being nerfed, Junkrat's being buffed, Winston's being buffed, Sombra's being buffed, and Zenyatta's being buffed, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this PTR update and whether or not Ana actually needs the nerf that she got. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm King Pyro 44, and I'm out of here. Peace.